At the outset, allow me to congratulate and commend UNCTAD for its World Investment Forum, a truly inclusive and universal platform to devise strategies and solutions for global investment and development challenges. The World Investment Forum provides us all with a unique opportunity to hear from policymakers, business leaders, and other stakeholders. This platform is needed to facilitate collective actions required to tackle the global challenges as the world slowly emerges from COVID-19 pandemic. Similar to the layout of this roundtable, the Ministry of International Cooperation frequently organizes multi-stakeholder platforms which aim to provide a platform for private sector, development partners, civil society, policymakers in order to discuss innovative solutions and to explore avenues of cooperation for pressing topics. For instance, the Ministry of International Cooperation has organized one on digitalization, which has become an integral part of the economic recovery in the context of the pandemic. We are faced with exceptional circumstances, a health crisis of a magnitude that has not been seen before, with implications on both human and economic aspects. Our response requires global and coordinated actions. Accelerating investments is key for a global recovery, but this cannot happen without a more equitable vaccine distribution policy. No one is safe until everybody is safe, and no economy can fully recover unless and until every country has the tools to combat COVID-19 effectively and comprehensively. Despite these challenges, the Egyptian economy has proven resilient in the face of the pandemic. Egypt's economy is set to grow between 5 and 5.5% in 2021-2022, and we have maintained our position as the largest recipient of FDI in Africa, with a wide range of promising key strategic sectors for FDI. These include health, tourism, pharmaceuticals, infrastructure, digital solutions, financial services, education, and food. It is also noteworthy that even at the peak of the outbreak of the pandemic, there was no disruption or shortages in supply of essential products. Egypt is committed to gear the resources needed towards a sustainable recovery and to move ahead with its comprehensive economic reform program that fosters a conducive environment for a diversified and knowledge-based economy. The Egyptian government did not wait for the pandemic's devastating effects to react. Instead, we implemented a number of swift and prudent policy responses that aimed at protecting public health and at reviving the economy through a set of measures boosting confidence to domestic and foreign investors. Egypt is also moving towards a new generation of investment policy frameworks at national, continental, and international levels. Our efforts aim at achieving a balance between having a conducive business environment and ensuring that sufficient policy space to regulate and implement measures conducive to a sustainable recovery and to the achievement of the SDGs. Through innovation, we at the Ministry of International Cooperation are working towards advancing international partnerships which are crucially needed to achieve SDGs through the principles of economic diplomacy, to constantly coordinate with stakeholders in order to ensure the achievement of the desired results of the strategic partnership framework with the UN. Economic diplomacy is based on 3 principles: multi-stakeholder platforms, official development assistance mapping to the SDGs, and the global partnerships narrative that puts people at the core and projects in action and purpose as the driver. Hence, the framework of economic diplomacy seeks to enhance the participation of stakeholders in formulating priorities and pushing Egypt's efforts towards achieving Egypt's Vision 2030 in line with the 17 UN SDGs. As stated within the final statement of the first edition of Egypt's International Cooperation Forum, Egypt ICF, that took place during the 8th and 9th of September, the role of the African Continental Free Trade Agreement and its agreement is a cornerstone in promoting the growth and integration of African economies in light of COVID-19. We reaffirm the need to finalize the negotiations on the e-commerce protocol as a guiding tool for harmonizing data regulations, facilitating cross-border e-commerce and activating taxes on e-commerce. This would ultimately enhance the overall economic recovery and benefit youth, women, and small and medium enterprises working in the field of e-commerce. We recognize that establishing an enabling environment for cross-border e-commerce in Africa requires infrastructure, strong communications, cost-effective transportation methods, standardized tax systems, reliable payment solutions, and a general awareness of custom regulations and procedures. It's time to catalyze blended finance through thematic investing and digital platform to pave the way towards a sustainable development goal and the 2030 agenda. The international financial institutions, along with the United Nations and other development partners, need to put innovative solutions for development finance, taking into consideration challenges related to the scarcity of ODA resources and public debt for developing countries. Egypt's development story is promoting both impact and sustainability as cross-cutting themes that enable us to achieve complementarity and inclusiveness. And these could be achieved within mega projects that have been implemented in various sectors and that have focused on impact and mainly engage private sector, as well as creating sustainable jobs. Building the world's largest solar plant at Bimban is an example. It employs more than 4,000 people as part of Egypt's government's Sustainable Energy Strategy 2035 and aims to produce 20% of electricity from renewable resources by 2022. In this context, we would like to express our thanks to UNCTAD, our strategic partner on investment policy making, for having worked closely with us on the reform of our existing international investment agreements and on the development of a new model investment treaty. UNCTAD has also been providing valuable assistance to Egypt and to African countries in the context of negotiations of the investment protocol of the African Free Trade Agreement. These international commitments will reflect Egypt's new approach to investment policy making, namely to put sustainable development at the core of our policy frameworks, not only nationally, but also internationally. Thank you.